с соседом, хоть мы вместе уж год, и мы тонем. Хотя каждый знает, где брод, и каждый с надеждой глядит в потолок троллейбуса, который идет на восток, троллейбуса, который...
Dear pen pal, I'm Alexei, but everyone calls me by my nickname, Alyosha. We all have nicknames in Russia. I can't wait to tell you all about my life in the Soviet Union. I'm 12 years old and live with my family. The day begins for me, my father and my mother, early in the morning. My grandmother stays home. I walked a couple of blocks to school with my classmate Denise. Just like you, we have morning rush hour when it seems like everyone is going to work or school. We live in Leningrad, a city of 5 million people. After Moscow, our capital, Leningrad is the largest city in the Soviet Union. In my neighborhood, it feels like everyone is headed in the same direction, towards my school. All of us go there from 1st through 10th grade. It's one of the best schools in Leningrad, and most of us will go to university. The name's not very original. It's called school or Skola 185.
Я вначале расскажу тебе о школе.
Let me tell you all about my school. The first stop each morning is the cloakroom. Leningrad's as far north as Alaska, and it's cold here most of the year. School starts with Russian class. It's the same as English class for you.
Пожелтели – это глагол, а пожелтевшие – это причастие.
Today we're studying verb tenses and punctuation.
Так, пожалуйста, найдите... Алёша, пожалуйста.
Причастие – это особая форма глагола. Листья что сделали? Пожелтели. Образуется от глагола и времени. Судя по вопросам этого...
We also read books by our great Russian authors, like Mayakovsky, a poet of the early 20th century, Chekhov, Russia's best-known playwright, and Pushkin, known as the Shakespeare of Russia. Leningrad was Pushkin's favorite city. That's why I like him. Let me tell you all about my city. Leningrad's 101 islands are joined by canals and bridges. A boat ride on the Neva River is a treat for me and my best friends. I've gone to school with them since I was 6, so I love to spend time with Philippe and Tanya. The boat ride starts in front of the Hermitage. That's the former winter palace of our kings, who were called Tsars. Our most famous Tsar was Peter the Great. Can you believe he was almost 7 feet tall? He built our city in the early 1700s as Russia's capital and called it St. Petersburg. That's Leningrad University, where my brother Sergei goes to school. No matter how many times we take this trip, we always see new things. Tanya's favorites are the onion-domed churches. I like the 18th century buildings. Here's the battleship Aurora. Its cannons fired the first shots of our revolution in 1917. The Aurora is as important to us as the Statue of Liberty is to you. The revolution started here in Leningrad. Lenin was our leader, and we've renamed the city after him. Well, we're back at the Hermitage again. It's the Soviet Union's greatest art museum. Next year, I'll be studying art there. But for now, I study art at school. It's one of my favorite subjects. You should see the project our teacher assigned us. She had us bring a mirror to class so we could draw our own faces. Just try that, looking and drawing at the same time. I'll send you my picture. But don't think that's how I really look. I have to admit, I had a pretty hard time telling who my friends were from their drawings. Guess we should all study at the Hermitage. Like some of you, we change classes. I take 11 subjects, so I'm busy. You'd really like our posters. They're written in our Russian alphabet, called Cyrillic. Our alphabet has 33 letters. To understand them, first graders make paper cutouts. Blues are consonants, reds are vowels. Children put the cards together to sound them out.
Первый слог.
Два слога, так как здесь две гласные
Вот.
буквы.
Два гласных звука. Правильно. Потому что можно ли звук «р» петь?
What looks like your P is really an R. You roll it on your tongue.
Читать «р» слова. Пожалуйста.
Believe me, it takes practice.
Замечательно, Юля, спасибо большое.
It also takes practice to be good at math and science. That's what the 10th graders concentrate on. They have to take university entrance exams at the end of the year. Our country has only 40 major universities. You wouldn't believe how tough it is to get in. 10th graders do a lot of algebra.
Очень тяжело. Так, 2 умножить.
You have to work hard if you want to be good at math.
Скобочка открывается.
And that takes a lot of concentration.
По основанию x числа корней из 5.
We wear red scarves because we belong to young pioneers. It's kind of like your Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts.
Совет дружины готов. Заместитель председателя Совета дружины Мишура Павел.
Вольно.
We learn about our civic duty, loyalty to our government, and how to be good Soviets.
Два вопроса. Первый вопрос об
Speaking of good Soviets, Lenin, the father of our Soviet state, led the communist revolution in 1917. We study about him the way you study about George Washington. Lenin said, our minds should be strong, just like our bodies. Even the youngest kids have exercise period. Since we have no outdoor playground, they exercise at their desks. Luckily, I go to gym. I love sports. Our teacher thinks each of us is an Olympic hopeful.
Юра, какая ошибка? Какая ошибка? Руку согнул. А ну-ка ты покажи. Подними руку. И делай замах. Линия руки и плеча одна. Хорошо.
We really worked up an appetite. I'm glad our snack is right after gym. I love all the kinds of bread and cake we get. They're the best. They're baked fresh every day and go well with tea, which we call chai. Everyone in Russia drinks it. This afternoon, while I was at school, my mother and grandmother went shopping for dinner. Tonight, we're going to celebrate my mother's name day. Mom took the afternoon off work to shop for this special dinner. In Russia, shopping takes patience. You have to stand in 3 different lines just to buy one thing. First, you pick out what you want. Then you go to another line to pay for it and get a receipt. Then it's back to the counter to pick up your package. Fresh meat isn't always easy to get, so it's a real treat. Usually we eat sausage or canned and smoked fish. My mom says that the best part of shopping is running into people you know. Every day in Russia we buy bread, or chlieb as we call it. There is even an art to the way you choose it. We take a fork and poke it to be sure it's fresh. We pay for it with rubles, which are like your dollars, and with coins called kopecks. Now it's time to go home and get ready for my mother's name day party. Everyone was there. That's my older brother Sergei in the red shirt. Since my dad's a physicist and my mom's a chemist, we live pretty well. We start our meal with little appetizers called zakushki. I wish you could have been there. My dad toasted my mom with champagne. And my grandmother gave my mother a funny card. I always have a good time with my family. I think you would too.
Я получил твое письмо.
Well, another day. I received your letter, and I want to tell you more about my life. Today, I'm writing before I leave for school. We go from 8:30 to 3, 6 days a week. I heard you only go 5 days. How do you get everything done? One subject we concentrate on is geography. The Soviet Union is huge. We go all the way from Europe on our western border across Northern Asia to the Pacific Ocean. Like you, we're a melting pot. Our population of 280 million people includes over 90 nationalities. We're the biggest country on earth, 2.5 times the size of the United States. In western Russia, there are mountains, and on the huge Siberian plain, you'll find Lake Baikal. It holds 1/5 of all the world's fresh water. Agriculture is important here. In the south, it's warm enough to grow lots of fruit, like grapes. In the countryside, people live in small wooden houses, and many of them grow wheat on state farms. Did you know it takes a whole week to cross our country by train? If you go south, you'll pass through Soviet Central Asia, where most of the people are Muslims and worship at mosques. Sometimes it's even hard for me to believe how many different kinds of people live here. But no matter where you are in the Soviet Union, we have one thing in common. Everyone loves soccer. I'm really lucky. Even though my brother's 4 years older, he takes me skateboarding with his friends. Do you like rock music? We like American rock as much as our own. My brother and his friends know all the latest Soviet rock songs by heart.
И мы тонем, хотя каждый знает, где брод. И каждый с надеждой глядит в потолок троллейбуса, который идет на восток. Троллейбуса, который идет на восток. Троллейбуса, который...
I left my brother and his friends a little early and took a trolley downtown to meet Philippe and Tanya. We met on Nevsky Prospect, Nevsky Boulevard to you, which is the main street in Leningrad. No matter how cold it gets, and it goes way below zero, we still love to eat ice cream. We call it мороженое. We also like to go to concerts and museums. The best way to find out what's going on is by checking out the posters. You're probably surprised by how few cars there are here. Most people don't own cars. Even if you can afford it, there's a long waiting list to get one. After I left Tanya and Philippe, I went to meet my father in the park. Fall, so beautiful here, with the birch trees all turning yellow. Then my father went back to Leningrad State University, where he works as a physicist. I went home to my grandmother. That's Babushka in Russian. Babushka loves showing me family pictures.
А тут ты с
Тоже на
мамой.
леднике.
Да, а это кто?
Тетя Марина.
Тетя Марина?
She's very proud of my mother's work as a
Вот
chemist.
это Юра, что ли?
Да.
Мгм.
А это из другой
Это
квартиры.
тот, который приходил.
Babushka's always telling me I look just like my great-grandfather.
Мгм. У тебя уже...
Later, she challenged me to chess. It's very popular here. Babushka says she likes it because it makes her think.
Так, съел.
I'm sure she likes it because she always beats me. On Sundays, we drive to the outskirts of Leningrad, where people live in huge modern apartment buildings. I love coming here to visit my aunt and uncle. Their apartment has lots of interesting things, including antiques. And you should meet Uncle Igor. He's so much fun. He even lets me use his tool-making machine. My cousin Natasha loves coming here too, because Uncle Igor lets us play with everything, including his records. Tea parties are a big part of Russian life. Have you heard of samovars? They're traditional Russian teapots. The old ones burn charcoal, but the new ones are electric.
Не могу я отказать, он так стоит на эти лапки, вот так класс.
Sergei went off to read, but I surprised him. I'll send you the picture.
Наверное, когда я вырасту, я все-таки стану тем же.
I want to be like Sergei when I grow up. He's studying Chinese and Japanese. I want to study them too.
Китайский.
And I'll keep up my English. Mine's good enough to do plays in English with the drama club next year. You should have seen the show they put on at school.
The King's Breakfast.
The play was about a king who didn't get his way.
The king asked the queen, and the queen asked the dairymaid.
Could we have some butter for the royal slice of bread?
The queen asked the dairymaid. The dairymaid said,
Certainly. I'll go and tell the cow.
You'd better tell His Majesty that many people nowadays like marmalade instead.
The queen said,
Would you like to try a little marmalade instead?
the king said,
Bother!
and then he said,
Oh dear me!
the king
Oh
sighed
dear me!
and went back to bed.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow, 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 follow the yellow brick road. Follow the rainbow over the stream. Follow the wind, follow the brick. Follow, 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 follow the yellow brick
My dream is to meet you on the yellow brick road. Till then, I wish you peace and friendship. Mir и дружба. I can't wait to get your next letter. So goodbye, до свидания, from your friend Alyosha.